Sorry, who was that? Rose.
Yes, but I said not me because maybe I'm an accurate timekeeper. Maybe someone else should take it up.
Okay, who else? Oh, I'm coming back to you. To be honest, I think you did last time. You are fantastic. Maybe we should, yeah. There's no other person that can do better than you've done anyway. So let's have you, Rose. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's 8 minutes, right?
Yes, 8 minutes, everyone. 8 minutes per team. So, and there's some teams that only got 3 disciplines. I mean, 3 roles. So those guys will be 6 minutes. But maximum is going to be 80 minutes anyway. So if you don't have a DA, right? So you only got 2 minutes per row, right? So yeah. So one thing, let me also say. So within that 2 minutes, you can use your 2 minutes. But if you have several screenshots, you can just be passing them through. Okay, don't worry, I would be looking at them. Yeah. So, but you got 2 minutes to finish everything anyway. So, thank you. Let's start from the first team, please.
Sorry, sir. Do you mean those that didn't have the whole four whatever? 6 minutes.
If you have 4 rows, you take minutes. 2 minutes per row. 2 minutes per row. 2 minutes per row. Okay.
Okay.
So if you only have 3, so you got 6 minutes. If you have 4 rows presenting, is 2 minutes. Yeah, it's 8 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, let's get started. First team, please.
Hi everyone. My name is Chino, so I'm a Scrum Master from the Alpha team, and I'll be opening the presentation for the team. For Alpha team, we've got 6 Scrum Masters, we've got 4 BAs, 4 QAs, and 2 DAs. Alpha Sprint 1 reports. Next. Our project name is Prep Major Instructor 1. Below is our sprint name, sprint period, and our widget for the sprint. Next. We have taken time to outline our job roles as a Scrum Master. Next. We have our wiki page where you would find our values, our Scrum.
Sorry, 1 minute. Can you go back quickly? Sorry. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Next. And we have our wiki page where you would find our values, our Scrum ceremonies, our minutes, and our team charter. Next. And this is our sprint backlog item update. And below is the table of the most recent updated one. Next.
Hello, I'm Eita. You're also a Scrum Master for the Alpha team. This slide reflects our project board on MS Azure DevOps, reflecting PBIs committed to the sprint and aspects of user stories and other features which we have highlighted. Next. This is the Alpha team capacity page reflecting the team's planned capacity per day at the onset of sprint 1 and the actual hours team members put in during the sprint. As has been highlighted, there were 2 members of the developer role who were unable to work. Next. These are screenshots of our selected metric tables reflecting the team performance during the sprint. We have the burn down chart, the velocity chart, and the cumulative flow diagram. Next. And these are the screenshots of the sprint highlights, including issues faced during the sprint and an overview of what the team will potentially accomplish in sprint 2. Next. Hand over to the BAs.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Aditola Ugo Wumi Ajola and Femi Oni. Yeah, next. On our board, we have 10 tickets in new, 8 tickets in BA, 4 tickets in approve, and 2 tickets in QA. Next. Here we have product backlog item for footer, the description and the acceptance criteria, and as well the wireframe. Next. That is our backlog analytics, starting from the Epic landing page. Next. That is our sign up and login process flow chart. Next. That is our sign up PBI and it's in done on the board. That's ticket 130. Next. That is the wireframe for sign up. Next. That is the login process flowchart and the wireframe. Next. That is the PBI for bottom header view. Next. That is the PBI for logo header. Next. That is the PBI for courses and the wireframe. Next. That is the PBI for home. Next. That is showing the home ticket 55 in BA and the PBI for login. Next. That is the PBI for your email address. Next. That is the PBI in approve column.
You have 4 minutes more.
It's wireframe. Next. That is the PBI for search courses and it's being worked on in BA. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Mokwelola. I'm a QA, and also we have Josh, Oluwagbemini, and Dotun. Next. These are the activities we covered in Sprint 1, including designing test cases, executing test cases, logging defect. We created our test strategy document and also our test plan documents. Next, please. These are the images of our test strategy and our test plan. Next. These are the QA job description. Next. Continuation of our job description. Next. Also continuation of QA job description. Next. This is the image of the header menu and test cases. Next, please. Image of the footer menu test case, and we also have the image of the box logged and assigned to the developer. Next. We have the image of the header menu defect. Next. We also have the image of the footer menu defect. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Femi, and alongside Ifedaya Owolo, I'll be presenting for the DA team of Alpha team. Next, please. These are the softwares technology we've been working with: SQL, Microsoft Excel, Tableau, and Power BI for visualization. Next, please. These are the activities we've covered in Sprint 1. We undertook some training in those 4 softwares. We also attended daily stand-ups, and we contributed to the sprint planning for the Alpha team. Next, please. This is a screenshot of my user stories documenting my progress of all the things I've learned. Next, please.
2 minutes more.
This is the screenshots of the user stories created by my partner documenting our progress of what she's learned so far. Next, please. This is a separate board created by the Scrum Masters. Thank you, our Scrum Masters. It showcases our PBIs in the project board for the DA team, separate from the main team. Next, please. This is me showcasing some of the skills I've learned, the pivot table on the left and the Tableau visualization on the right-hand side. Next, please. This is more skills. This is a public visual database for myself on Tableau public on the left and some Excel skills on the right. Next, please. This is my partner showcasing some of our Excel sheets on the left, cumulative skills, and also on the right, some functions and formulas that she learned. Next, please. This is also her public Tableau page for her visualizations that she's done so far. She's done 10 so far. Next, please. The impediments we had, DA board creation, the Scrum Masters were able to sort us out, so thanks to them. DA role clarity, Deji was also able to sort out for us. We'd like to give credit to our tutors, Ayo, Adebola, Godwin, and who were excellent tutoring us. We also like to say thank you to our mentors, Sarah and Elsie. Deji and the admin were also fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, cool. Let's move to the next team. I think you guys already raised the bar, to be honest. Well done. I'm really impressed. Wow, this is good. This is how to start the session. Hopefully some people will not run away. But you guys are fantastic. Well done. So next team, please. Next team. I'm loving it. Yeah, this is good.
Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for this great privilege. My name is Larry Shoneko. I'm representing the Beta team and the Scrum Master. I'm one of the Scrum Master, and today we're going to be presenting. I'd like to go to the next slide, please. That's our team. We have all our different teams in place. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. This is the Beta team. These are all our different team. We have the Scrum Masters and other ones, the QAs, the BAs, and the business analysts and the data analysts. These are our team. As a Scrum Master, you can see these are the various activities that we get involved in and what we've been doing. So we've spelled this in these tabular forms that are forming our various meetings, our daily Scrums and retrospective meetings, and all that we've been able to put together. And so this is also our team charter. Here you'll find all the team members, all the various teams that are accumulating in our team. The BAs, the QAs are all represented there. We also have our team. We have our wiki page. The wiki page summarizes everything about what we're doing. And these are dashboards where we have been able to present our sprint one and putting all things that we've been doing together. Also, these are the boards that our PMI have been able to put together. We separate every individuals and our roles based on.
Can you go back one slide, please? Back quickly.
Okay, that's our sprint capacity.
Can you go back after the team charter, please?
Okay. One more, right?
All right, let's continue.
Okay, great. So our sprint capacity shows us the various that we are 100% activities of every individuals that are put together, and we can see that displays on our sprint capacity. We also have we've been able to our wiki page, which we have been able to our project charter. We have put together all that we've been able to do in sprint one in that, and then we have been able to present this through the stakeholders map, and we have put them together graphically also, submitting all that we've been able to do within the sprint one. At this point, I'd like to hand over to our BAs.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Adiolu, and I'll be presenting for the business analyst on the Beta team. I'm the lead BA for Sprint 1. So just like we said, roles and responsibilities of business analysts on the Beta team. On the Beta team, including skills that they need to perform, to use to perform their roles effectively. Next slide, please. In doing that, in preparing for the sprint, we've utilized we've made use of a mind map just so that it gives us a visual representation of what we're meant to deliver for the sprint as a whole. So that is the visual mind map of the landing page, authentication, and everything else that is within there. From there, we did a site map. Next slide, please. A site map where we've done a site map of the landing page that we're trying to capture, and that is also the visual representation of that. And from there, obviously, with all these steps going through, we've been able to populate our Azure board with our PBIs, and we have 5 PBIs approved for Sprint 2 already. All of that has to do with authentication, become an instructor, sign up, and login. And we also do have 13 stories in BA so far that are ready to move to that we're still working on, ready to be moved to be done. And then we have three that were committed to sprint and have now been completed at the end of the sprint. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. We've taken a screenshot of the Azure board for one of the authentication stories. Next slide, please. Next slide. For one of the authentication stories, the story is authentication for become an instructor. So we've got the wireframe on your right and the user story, the PBI on the Azure board to the left. So become an instructor, we have all of that in there. We have acceptance criteria 1, 2, 3. And we also have the next slide, which is showing now, is the authentication process flow, both for the login and sign up. So that will be all from the BA team, and I'll hand over to the next team, please. Thank you.
3 minutes to go.
QA, I'm the lead for the QA. My name is Jide. In my team, I have Yankee, Mami, and Michael. The next slide, please. Yeah, that's the job responsibility and the role of our team as a QA. Next. Next, please. Next slide. Yeah, we have 3 tickets to execute in this sprint. The header menu, subscribe to newsletter, and home banner page. Next. Next, please. The header menu. Newsletter subscription. And the third one. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, on-page banner. So that's the 3 tickets we executed. The next one, we carry out various tests on each. Yeah, those are the capture of the tests we carry out. The screen. Yes. Next. Next slide, please. Okay, you have combined everything together, all our tests, what we captured that they are positive tests. The home banner, the header menu, subscribe to newsletter, and home page banner. Thank you. Next. Data analysis.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Precious, and I'm a data analyst on data team together with Oluwatoni. So what we've done so far on the group is we've inputted we've populated our next slide. We've populated our Azure board. So the Power BI, Excel, SQL on the Azure board. Next slide, please. Next slide, please.
Time's up.
And this is screenshots of the Microsoft SQL. Next slide.
Time's up.
That's for Tableau.
Your time
Next
is
slide.
up. Your time is up. Can you hear me?
Just go through the screenshots and go. Okay, your time is up. Just yeah. Okay, what was the impediment? Can you go back quickly? What was the impediment? Okay, all right, cool. All right, let's move to the next team, please. Thank you. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I'm really loving this. This is good, actually. So you guys, you're not supposed to be here, actually. I think you should do graduation actually within 1 week or two, 1 or 2 sprints you've been able to do. Well done, and this is good. Yeah. I think the stake is already.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ed Ogboy. I'm one of the Scrum team for Delta team, and I'll be presenting for Delta team. We have 1 product owner, 6 Scrum Masters, 5 BAs, 5 QAs, and 2 BAs. So today, we'll be going through sprint 1. So we're going to showcase what we have delivered as part of the sprint based on the requirement specification. So I would like to appreciate the Scrum team for what they have done. It's amazing. And what we have achieved so far is great. Next. I'd like to provide you with some overview of the project. And what is this project all about? Again, Prep Major is an e-learning website with homepage epic that have been broken down into header menu, main body, footer menu. Next, we have here on the board that is displayed, we have some tickets that have been moved to done. Some have been approved, some are on BA, and some are in dev. Next slide, please. We have tickets that have been completed and potential to be shipped and ready for implementation by the user. So that they will have the user experience. And this ticket, they have been, designed, they've been planned, they've been coded and tested. So I'll hand over to Babatunde.
Hi, my name is Babatunde. I'm representing the BEAs on Delta team. We met with the product owner and we got a project mandate, which was to deliver the e-learning website for Prep Major. We had our epic, we met with her, we had our epic, which was the landing page, and from the epic, we were able to come up with the features which are the home page, the header menu, and the header menu and the footer menu. And from these features, we're able to develop our user stories. Next slide, please. This is a snapshot of our user stories. These are the user stories for the banner and subscribe to our newsletter. Next slide, please. These are the user stories for the footer and the logo. Next slide, please. And these are the user stories for the courses and header. Next slide, please. And this is the wireframe, just depicting what it would look like. At this point, it is just a view-only page. There are no functionalities at the moment.
5 minutes more.
Thank you.
Good evening all. My name is Emmanuel. I'm one of the QAs on Delta team. I'm just going to briefly go through some of the things that we've been working on, some of our achievements so far, some of the challenges, and what we're looking forward to working on in the future. So far we've been assigned 6 user stories, which have been divided between 5 of us QAs. So within those 6 user stories, 4 of them passed our test that we ran, and 2 of the user stories we were able to find bugs and we've raised them, as you can see, as per our Azure board here. So I'm just going to give you an example of one of the tests that we worked on. Here we have a header. In this image, we have to the left of us, we have the user story with the acceptance criteria. And then on the right, we have the actual delivered product, which is the header. And then to the bottom, we have the test cases that we ran, along with the execution of the test on the bottom right. Another example of a user story that we've been working on is the subscribe to newsletter function. So here again, on the left, we have the actual user story with the acceptance criteria and wireframe. And then to the right, we have the actual delivered product. And then again, on the bottom, we have the actual test steps that we've created for this, along with the actual execution of the test to the bottom right as well. Now, some of the bugs that we found are in this test case. So this is top courses. So as you can see here, apologies. As you can see here, we've got the actual wireframe of what was expected. And then to the left, we have the actual delivered product, which we ran tests for. Below, we have the test steps here. And then right next to it, we have the actual execution of the tests and where we found the bugs, which were raised. Again, we have another test that we ran here, which also we were able to find bugs on, which is the footer. So here we have the actual wireframe itself, the actual delivered product by the developer. And then below we have the test steps along with the execution of the tests and where we were able to find the bugs. So some of the challenges that we found along this sprint where obviously as we're newbies, there were a lot of there was a lot of things that we weren't sort of able to wrap our heads around. So as you can see, there was a lot of things that were unnecessarily created on the Azure board. Navigating Azure DevOps also was quite a challenge for us as well. But I think towards the end of the sprint, we've been able to sort of wrap our heads around it and sort of learn a lot more. And we expect to learn more as we go through the sprint, various sprints. Looking into the future, this is what we're going to be working on soon, which is the actual our automation testing. So this is where we're going to be setting up our framework, which is on Visual Studio. And finally, this is the actual website as it is at the moment. And yeah, this is what we're going to be. This is going to be our test environment going forward. I'll just hand over back to my DA.
Hi, I'm Oluwaseyi. I'm a DA on the Delta team, and I'll be speaking on behalf of myself and my colleague Olabisi Solomon. And as a member of the Delta team, we have been able to contribute dutifully to the stand-ups, and we have followed up on our training, and we've been trained and be able to use Microsoft Excel. We have hands-on practical experience on using the basic features like the formulas and functions in Excel. Also, we have been taught Power BI, which is a data visualization tool. We learned how to install and run Power BI, load CSV file into Power BI, create sample visual reports, and use visual charts to summarize data. We did the same thing for Tableau, which is an alternative to using Power BI, and also the SQL. We learned how to use the basic syntax in SQL, and we had hands-on experience in practicing it out on a real data in a database. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation.
All right, thank you. To be honest, let's move to the next team, please. This is looking great, actually. Wow. This is good. I'm impressed, actually. Very, very impressed. Hopefully it stays that way. All right, next team, please. This is good.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jubril, and a Scrum Master. I'm presenting tonight for Epsilon team. Yeah, we're going to see the slide by Alainka. So the slide, please. All right. Okay, the project, Alainka, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm trying to share the screen, but it's on weird.
We had a project, and the project name is Prep Major e-learning website. The goal of the project is designed to view the Prep Major landing page. We have a team composition, 6 Scrum Masters, 5 BAs, 5 QAs, and then 1 DA. This our sprint 1 started on the Monday, 30th of January 2023, and end today, 12th of February 2023.
I can't see your slide, you know. You're not presenting anything.
Yeah, excuse me. Could we skip to the next team for a sec, please? I need to sort out my computer.
You need to do what?
Could we skip to the next team, and then we'll do ours after the next team? My computer's frozen for a sec.
I don't think I'm going to accept this, to be honest. So you need to get ready, right? It's like doing a stakeholder presentation and said, okay, I'm not ready. That's what I'm guessing from you.
Okay, it's working now. Give me 1 second, please.
Sorry about that.
Okay, for me, you got your answer quickly. For me, Mamora.
All right, that's Team Epsilon. Sorry about the delay. Yeah, that's Team Epsilon. Can you continue? Are you still struggling with that?
Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I'll share it now.
You need to minimize that. You need to minimize that screen. Okay. Can you share it again and minimize that screen? Don't close the sharing. Okay.
Can you see it now?
No, we can't see it. Yes. Okay. It's better now. Yeah. So that's the team goal. Design view of product major landing page. And next one, please. Next slide. Yes, like I said earlier on, that's the team composition. I already said that 6 Scrum Master, 5 BA, 5 QAs, and 1 DA. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the role of the Scrum Master, roles and responsibility made of 15 points there. Next, please. And then that is the page of the task page, what we've done so far. Next. Yeah, and of course these are burn down charts, the velocity charts. The team capacity for the sprint 1 was 175 hours. We committed 6 stories with that total effort, and out of the 6, 1 is because of a bug that has been raised by the QA, and the developer has not fixed it yet, and it will go into the next sprint. So we intend to do our retro 20 minutes before our sprint planning tomorrow. And then regarding the impediment, the people commitment was a challenge due to other meetings clashing with, but at some point we had a meeting, we were able to resolve that. So I'm going to pass on to the BA, Isaac. Take it over from there.
All right, thank you. My name is Isaac. So I'll be representing the BA. Please, next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so this are the team member for the BA, which we've already seen earlier. So the project mandate, this thing will deliver required features that will enable all registered students to assess variety of courses on prep major. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is what we learned in the last 2 weeks. Like you all know, BA will always work ahead of the sprint. So we're already working towards sprint 2. So this is what we've done. Next slide, please. And then the various meeting with Ed, we had meeting with the PO. We had 2 meetings with the PO, and then we also had a meeting with our mentor. Next slide, please. The mandates or user story is clear and identified. That's the definition of already. And then the user story has the proposed acceptance. The user story answers the what, why, and how question. And then finally, the user story
You have 3 minutes.
defined by the product owner. Next slide, please. So I'll quickly rush over the next few slides. Please, next slide. Okay, update on stories committed to sprint 1. Like the SM said, 6 stories were committed to sprint 1. We have 5 of the stories that have already passed the UAT, so they're already in UAT done. 1 story was there was bug that was raised on 1 story, which is the footer menu, and that is pending with the developer. Next slide. Quickly. Okay, so we're already working on sprint 2. The goal for sprint 2 is authorization functionality. So we want to look at the functionality of all we've done on the landing page. Next, please. Okay, these are some of the pictures and a wireframe that we did. Next, please. Next slide. Let's roll. So we have the user story of the header. Next, let's just roll. The home page banner user story. The user story for the footer. We just roll on because of time. So we have the user story for the wire and wireframe for the login, which is the sprint 2 that we're already working on. Next, please. Same for the sign up. Keep going, please. Same for about us, the wireframe and the user story. Next. And for contact us. Next. And then these are the rows of the BAs. We actually divided them into 4. There are 15 all in all. We have the requirement elicitation, which is the elaboration phase. We have the solution design phase next. And then development phase, and then the maintenance phase. Thank you. Please, Olas, take over from here.
All right, thank you. Yeah, can we have QA, please? The QA representative.
You have 40 seconds more.
Okay, I don't think there will be time for QA. So I think all 6 stories were tested, and there was just one bug, which we plan to move into the next sprint. I think
we have slides for QA or we don't?
No, not at the moment, no.
You don't at all. Okay, all right.
Thank you. That's the end of it. Thank you.
Okay, all right, cool. Let's move to the next thing, please. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Oluwatosin Afolabi. I'm one of the SM for Gamma team, and we'll be presenting our Sprint 1 demo tonight. Thank you. This is our organogram. It shows that we have 1 PM, 5 SM, 5 DA.
You are not sharing the screen.
Can everyone see my screen now, please?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I said, my name is Oluwatosin. I'll be presenting for Gamma's team for Sprint 1 demo for tonight. Sorry.
Okay, Tosin, do you want to stop sharing? I'll try and share from my side.
All right, thank you, Bola.
Oluwatosin, can you tell those guys behind you that you are presenting?
Oh, sorry.
Okay, Tosin, when you're ready.
All right, thanks, Bola. All right. We are the Gamma team. We are presenting for Sprint 1 demo. My name is Oluwatosin. To the next slide, please. Thank you. Yeah, this is our organogram. Like I said, we have 1 PO, 5 SM, 5 BA, 5 QA, and 2 DA. Next slide, please. As an SM, these are our roles. We facilitate the daily stand-up meeting with other Scrum events. We coach and assist team members to perform their roles and organize sprint planning and capacity planning. We resolve impediments among team members and team coaching as well. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is a screenshot of our team charter that we've done in Sprint 1. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is our short for sprint planning, and we've done our capacity planning as well. And we've tried to do our estimated poker where we make sure that every member on the team are on the same page. Thank you. Next slide, please. And this is our short for the meetings of daily stand-up, where we took minutes and able to know who are able to join, and we can able to get back to other members who can make it as well. Thank you. Next slide, please. This is our stage and the Power BI on the Azure board where we've populated and we are about to move, but due to some issues, we're still waiting for the developers to help with the bug that has been raised in the team. Next slide, please. And we've done our retrospective due to the next sprint, so we met and able to know what we did well, what we need to do, and the actual plan that needs to be taken through the next sprint. Thank you. Now we'll pass it to the BA. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. My name is Sunday Success, and I'm presenting on behalf of 3 other BAs on the Gamma team, namely Daisy, Olapeju, and Olawale. I'll start with a reminder of our duties and responsibility, which includes working closely with the PO, creating requirements for the sprints, and writing the user story ahead of sprints. We had a hectic week. Next slide, please. We had a hectic week, an interesting week at the same time, translating the requirements of the product owner into user stories. Essentially, we were asked to write user story and user acceptance of the footer for an e-commerce website. The current slide reflects the task, and we also included a wireframe for the footer. In summary, we have 10 user stories and acceptance criteria in executing this brief, and this was done through collaboration and support from our mentors. That will be all from the BA. Hand over to the next team.
Good evening. My name is Samuel. I am presenting on behalf of the QAs in Gamma team. Next, please. These are some of the tickets assigned to us. We worked on a project, Long Reach Web website. So 4 tickets were assigned to each of every one of us: the home, about us, contact us, and retail shop, as you can see. Next, please. Yes, we carried out the test. Some passed the test, and we also had an impediment, and we raised a bug to the developers waiting for their response. Thank you. Yes, this is.
Sorry, can you move back one step? Can you move back, please?
You have 2 minutes more.
Yeah, this is the bug, part of the bug we raised. So this is the screenshot of the landing of the page, which were not complete because some of the details were not found. So these are part of the bug we raised to the developers.
Hi everyone, my name is Teresa Sunday. I'm presenting on behalf of the BA, the Gamma team, myself and Ginika AM. So these are the roles and responsibilities of a data analyst, also known as a business analyst, business intelligence analyst, since we help businesses and organizations answer most of their questions and answer their problems, help them find solutions to their problems, and also track trends, marketing trends. Yes, next slide, please. Yes, so in the last sprint, we worked on Microsoft Excel. We had introductions to Excel functions and formatting, mathematical operation formulas, use of filters. We created tables and sorted them, cell referencing, removing duplicates, and so on and so forth. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we also did Power BI. We did installation and setting up of the Power BI. We loaded some Excel file and created visualization. And we also worked with some sample data sets from the application. And these are the, on the right-hand side are the screenshots of what we've done so far. Next slide, please. Yeah, and then we worked on Tableau as well. Yeah, we did installation and setting up of Tableau. We loaded Excel file, created visualization.
Time is up. Time is up. Time up.
Okay, yeah, and then we also worked on SQL, although some of my team, wow, thank you.
Time up.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Next team, please. Next team. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adenike. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adenike. Good evening, everyone. My name is Adenike. I'm a Scrum Master from IOTA team. So we have 5 other Scrum Masters, excluding me. And Sprint 1 kicked off with the Scrum Masters focusing on driving the adoption of the Agile methodology Scrum, coaching the team towards better self-management and organization, and adapting to the Scrum principles and values. We collaborated with the product owner to ensure the product backlog is in good shape and to achieve valuable and productive output. Next slide, please. So here's a screenshot of our RACI chart and our team charter, which we have stored in our wiki. So the team charter shows the values, the mission, and the constraints of the team. And the team which makes us accountable for whatever we do that is wrong. It also helps us to achieve clarity and to reduce confusion in case conflicts arise. And then the RACI chart also shows the responsibilities and roles of each team member and why each team member makes decisions and why they are the ones responsible for making decisions. Next slide, please. So we committed 3 stories to sprint, but we had 2 major impediments which impacted us achieving our sprint goals. All unfinished user stories will be prioritized in sprint 2. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. After this, next slide. So this is our team capacity, which calculates the resource capacity of our development team. This is a screenshot of our sprint retrospective and also our burn down chart and our capacity velocity planning. I'll pass it on to Bukola, the BA.
Thank you very much. So we have 5 business analysts in the team, and we are all working together to understand the needs and requirements of the business. We are responsible for eliciting and analyzing the requirements to solve the business needs, and we are ensuring that we deliver tangible results in the end. And of course, we are not limited to all these roles. Next slide, please. So we have written different user stories for each PBI
5 more minutes to go.
based on the PO's requirements. Some of these user stories have been approved of by the PO and for the next sprint. And these have now been moved to the approved section on the Agile board. Some of these are the FAQ, about us, cookies, privacy policy, terms and conditions, and social media icons. Next slide, please. So we have created and attached wireframes to these user stories on the Azure board, and we are also working on new PBI for the next sprint. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm Akinola, the test lead. At the beginning of the project, we had the sprint planning where we understood the business requirements and committed some user story into sprints. From there, we started our static testing on the requirements. And as the test lead of this sprint, I designed my test plan and test strategy regarding the project, and also encourage my testers to know how to write a test plan as well and submit their own to me. After that, we started writing our test script on Azure and designing our test cases on Azure board. Pending the time the developer were running their show, we set up our environment for test automation by installing Visual Studio and other tools and getting ready for execution. The developer finished their work, they move it to dev done, then we testers, we pick it up and move it to in QA on the Azure board. We got the test environment, which is the URL to test on. Then we assign the text, we assign the task to each of the testers and started our test execution. In the process of executing some test cases, some test cases were passed while we detected some bugs as well. We raised the bug, made a reproductive test on them, and assign it back to the developer, and as well attach so many screenshots for clarification. Well, at the moment, the bug has not been fixed yet, but we keep pushing the developer to do their work, as we all know how they can be. When the bug has been fixed and assigned back to us, we will do a retest on them and also do a regression testing to verify the old functionality that passed has not been broken. Then once it has passed, then we can move it to QA done. Thank you.
Yes, Ife, are you there?
So good evening, everyone. On behalf of the data analysts for this project, we're setting up we're still in the developmental stages like the rest of the project, and we're conducting research. So we're currently working on SQL, Tableau, Power BI, and using some advanced Excel coding and things like that. So this is just a representation of the dashboard that was created on Tableau and Power BI. They're still developmental, in the developmental phases, using data from external sources. So
1 more minute to go.
yes, so just okay. I'll just round up on that. So we're still in the developmental stages, setting up our dashboards and conducting research.
That's the end of our slide. Thank you.
All right, that's good. Lovely. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, let's move to the next one. Next thing. That was good. Well done. Next team, please.
Good evening, everyone. This is Olanike from Team Kappa, representing Team Kappa, presenting for the Scrum Master. Inga, please, can I have the slides, please? Hello, Benga. Please, can I have the slides?
The slide is up. Benga Otilo. The slide is up.
The slides there or no?
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry,
That's
please.
6 minutes more.
Okay, my name is Olanike from Team Kappa. I'll be presenting on behalf of the Scrum Masters. For Team Kappa, we have 5 SMs, we have 4 BAs, we have 2 QAs and 2 developers. For the SMs, our responsibility and our roles are to facilitate the daily Scrum meeting and the Scrum ceremony. We also assist our team members in removing impediments so that they can perform their roles. For those sprints, we committed 3 stories into the sprint. We have the edit design, the on-page external design, and the photo design. The goal of our sprint is to make a web page with a non-clickable features. Next slide, please. Next, please. Okay, this is our job board. On our job board, we have 2 stories already in done. The 3 stories were committed into sprints. While the 3 stories have passed the UAT, we have 1 story which didn't pass. We have returned it back into in-depth and have traced a bug by the BA, by the QAs. So we have 2 stories gone for the sprints, but we have 1 still at the backlog in in-depth, which then move to the done sector. Next, please. Okay, we have our on our wiki page, we have our team charter where we have our vision, our mission, our definition of done and ready. We have our Scrum meetings, the appointments for time meetings. Then we also have our impediment log where we have all the impediments we have for sprint 1, how we resolve them, and we're able to move past the impediments for sprint 1. Next, please. Next, please. Okay, this is our task board for the sprint 1. We have the bug that has been raised for that already, for the backlog that was not resolved, that could not pass the UAT test. We have it in the in-dev. So the QA has raised that already. Next, please. Next. Okay. Then for our metrics, we have the burn down chart, the burn up chart, and the velocity chart. On her chart, we can see that we were unable to achieve our sprint goal, as we see our one user story, one ticket still at the in-dev because of the bug that has been raised. This will be prioritized in the second sprint, as we have to roll over the backlog into our sprint 2, which will be starting tomorrow, and we prioritize it in the second sprint. Have we met our sprint goal? No, as we still have one of our user story still in the in-dev. We have 2 user story which has passed the UAT and already in done, but we have one of our tickets still in in-dev because a bug has been raised by the QA as it didn't pass the UAT test. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
2 more minutes to go.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fomi Tamao from the Kappa team. I'm one of the BAs in the Kappa team. And in the BAs comprises of the Kappa team comprises of 5 BAs, in which because of time, I'm one of them, but we're 5. For the sprint 1, as the BAs, we've been able to work so hard to get our requirements ahead of the sprint 2 we're going to go in, and we ensured our backlog items are being populated on the dashboard. We made adjustment to the PBIs in the mid sprint as requested by the stakeholder. What went well? Communication with PO and the development teams, more BAs involved, and what we need to improve on going into the next sprint is we found out that we need to delegate more tasks early enough. That's one of the reasons and one of our lead the issues we faced in the last sprint. Next slide, please. You can see from the dashboard, this is the previous one. Oh, okay, because of time, I'll hand over to the QA. Let the QA take it from here.
Hi, my name is Olaolo Olajubo. I'm presenting.
Hold on, please. I'm interested in what the BA does. What you guys do, please. What did you do?
Their time is up.
No, sorry. Pardon me. I really want to know what they did, please.
We designed the. Please, can you take us through that? The header design, because part of what we did was being said by the SN, where we were asked to design the header menu, the landing page, and the footer menu.
So where are the stories? So I can only see 3 stories. So sorry, Rose.
Go and bring your diapers.
Okay, sorry. You only did 3 stories. Is that what you're telling me?
We did not 3 stories. We did 3 designs. The header, and we committed those 3 stories to.
You only wrote 3 stories.
We only wrote 3 stories.
How many BAs?
We have 5 BAs.
So 5 BA wrote 3 stories. That is not impressive for me, to be honest. Apologies. So I'll come back because I'm trying to let you know. Yeah. That means even if you guys if you're writing 1 story per person, at least that's 5. Yeah. You couldn't even make 5. You only did 3. I'm not impressed. Apologies. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. QA, please.
Yes. Hi, my name is Olaolo Olajubo. I'll be presenting on behalf of the QAs. Because of time, next slide, please. This is our board. We had an impediment earlier. This is our wireframe. homepage banner design. Next slide. So this is the user story for the homepage banner. Before we ensure that we follow the test criteria before designing this banner page. So we ensured we use test planning control, test analysis and design, test implementation and execution. We also followed the boundary analysis value and equivalent partitioning just to meet.
Leave the theory.
Yes.
I need to see what
Okay.
it is.
So
Okay?
this
Yeah.
is our homepage banner. So next slide, please. This is the steps. So we had an impediment, but the impediment was resolved yesterday. So we've been able to retest, and we've done regression testing too, just to make sure that the bug was fixed and everything was working perfectly. Next slide. So this is the bug that was fixed for the. This was the bug that was fixed for the homepage header design. Next slide.
That's allowed. I'm not
So
sure I
are you
included
guys
that.
that you only wrote one test case, right?
No, we wrote 3 test cases, but we are just presenting one as an example because of time. That's why we're trying to do that.
No, that's not what I asked you to do, right? I asked you to put everything in the slide, even if you don't have time, skip through that. So even the one that you, to be honest, I'm not impressed totally. Initially, I wanted to leave the feedback to the end, but I need to give you this feedback. You guys are the one. Yeah, it's been good so far, but you guys didn't do it. To be honest, apologies. I will need to be blunt to you guys, right? Most especially the case and the keyway. I need 1 minute. I need to look at my sheet so that next time I want to see this team performing, right? And the next team, I want to see you at least 10 test cases. That's what I want to see in here, and also the BS. Okay. There's no excuse, okay? 10 stories for sprint 2. If you have not done it, you need to do it before your sprint start. And also, each one of you, the keywords, you need to do at least 4 first test cases. So I want to see that, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Well,
Can I quickly give a feedback here so they know what they need to do? So with your test cases, like I said last week, that if you're going to write test cases, stick to either the classic way or the Gherkin syntax. You can't start with the Gherkin syntax and continue with the classic way. It's not acceptable. Just so that you know that you need to be consistent in writing your test steps. Okay, that's for the way. Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's move on, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jermaine. I'm one of the Scrum Masters for Team Lambda. So our Sprint 1 demo. Our project is Long Reach. Here's our timetable we set up just for our Scrum ceremonies. Sprint 1 goal. The goal is to create and view the Long Reach landing page. This is the team, our PO, 4 QAs, 4 BAs, 5 Scrums.
Can you go back quickly? Sorry, apologies. Yeah, thanks. You can continue.
Yeah, so we got 4 BAs, 4 QAs, and 5 Scrum Masters. Yeah, so here's some the role and responsibilities of the Scrum Master, Master of Agile and Scrum, coach all teams, project board. This is the board we set up, obviously, so they can work the tasks for the BAs and PO to populate the task on the board, and then we set up a sprint board to help the team create more tasks. The estimation board we used. And also obviously the burn down chart, the estimation board we use obviously to estimate the complexity and the risk of each user story using the Fibonacci sequence. The burn down chart shows how fast the team is working obviously through their stories. We can see that.
Thank you, colleague. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emmanuel. So going forward, there's the team charter for Lambda, and this helps the team to focus on their goals and vision. Next, please. And then the capacity planning with the capacity planning and the sprint planning, and that we were able to plan based on the team's members' availability, shows the available productive hours for the sprint, next sprint. Then the sprint goal is to help to keep the team clear on the project objective. Thank you. Over to the BA.
Right. I'm Gene. I'm going to speak on behalf of the BAs. I'm a Scrum Master, but I'm speaking on behalf of them. So they served as a bridge between the product owner and the developers. They prepared all the user stories and wireframes to meet the PO's requirements.
They are not here. Is that what you're telling me? No.
They're not available due to certain circumstances.
How many BAs?
We got 5.
Okay, can we skip it? Sorry.
All right. So this is some of the stuff they did. They created user stories.
No. Can we skip? Can we skip them?
Skip the BAs. All right. No worries.
Yes. 5 BAs. None of them is available. How do you do your meetings?
We have,
Pardon?
Excuse me, Deji. I'm one of the BAs, but I'm keeping time. So do you want me to present? Will somebody else take over the timekeeping?
We'll just go over due to time. Let's just keep it moving.
Your role, okay? Timekeeping is your secondary role. This is your primary role. You can't leave that, okay? So don't worry. Yeah, focus on this. You don't have time, okay? So you have all the time that you can have on this one, okay? Let's go back to the BA, okay? If you're one of the BAs, can you do that presentation, please?
All right.
Okay, so the BAs, we have our roles and our responsibilities. One of our roles is to work ahead of the team and effective communication amongst the team to ensure effective time management. Next slide, please. So we've worked on our user stories, and we had about 6 user stories, and we worked on our backlog items. Next slide, please. And this is our wireframe. It's upside down. This is our wireframe. Yeah, our wireframe. And that's it for the BAs. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Good evening, all. My name is Rexford, one of the QAs. We also have Folarin, we have Bolarin, and we have Victor. So I'm quickly going to take you through our roles and our achievements so far in Sprint 1. We started off creating our test plan and test strategy document. We analyzed the requirements, we designed specifications, and we converted them into test script. We executed them manually, and we analyzed the test result to ensure data integrity and accuracy. We also logged and tracked defects and worked closely with the developers to ensure testing is taking place in a timely manner. Due to time, I'm just gonna skip. We downloaded and installed Visual Studios for test automation in the future. I'm gonna pass on to my colleague Folarin to explain the user stories we worked on.
Okay, my name is Folarin. I'll just show you all the evidence of what we've done. These are the pictures of the creating tags. Next slide, please. We created the tags. This is where we have our QA user stories. We are, next slide, please. This is where we execute our test plan, our test cases and implement it. This is some of the evidence and execution in check-in. Next slide, please. We erase the bugs that we found. We send it back to the QAs. This is how we execute it from the testers' environment. This is a retrospect that we use in order to give the QA what we did and how to know to handle the issues we raised. This is the report we had.
My name is Bolaniwa. Okay.
I'll give it to Bolaniwa next, please.
My name is Bolaniwa. During the course of our testing activities, we were able to raise a bug and wrote a story concerning the bug. A screenshot of the bug was also attached and sent to the developers. They've been able to work on it, and they did a great job. We retested it, and everything seems fine. Everything is working fine. Thank you.
So these are some of our impediments and highlights that we faced. We managed to complete our sprint plan a little bit late due to some unforeseen circumstances. Sometimes some of our team members were unable to access the Azure board. The QAs failed to obtain their testers' account details on time due to some technical issues, and the BAs had some communication issues with the PO at times. But it all went well, and it all came together. So we just want to give a big shout out to our mentors, Ben, Funke, and ABC for supporting us. Thank you. Lambda, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's fine.
All right, thank you. So let's move to the next team, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Titi Lola. Just a minute. Can you see my slides, please?
Yes.
Yes, but you need to put it in presentation mode. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, my name is Titi Lola. I'm one of the Scrum team members in 10
Okay.
on behalf of the TITA team. We're working from the back end. This is the agenda for the presentation for tonight. Overview, the administrator part of the Apex Tutor app, which is called the backend, has begun. Sprint 1 is focused on the following: registration, login, account activation and deactivation, download, list of applicants, details of applicants. This is our organogram. You can see our lovely faces of our SM team. We've got 6 SM members, 5 BAs and 3 QAs, and also our developers with their names on there. These are the roles and responsibilities of the Scrum Masters, roles and responsibility of the business analysts, roles and responsibilities of the quality assurance team, and also for the progress in team week 1, we facilitated the daily Scrum, helped the Scrum team to overcome the sprint impediment, which was the login. Now we've all been able to log in. And for this week, it was necessary for us to work together with the Upsilon team, which is being facilitated now. We're starting tomorrow. The sprint planning with the developers and product owner is going fine. They've been so wonderful. Training and development within our team, capacity planning, Azure DevOps setup, and Excel, and also the team charter, all been done on our team. And I'm going to hand over to Kachi, the business analyst.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kachi, and as you said earlier, business analysts, we are 5. There are 5 of us. We have myself, Tolu, Titi, Thomas, and Victor. This is our our summary of our product backlog items. In the next page, you see some of the user stories we did for user stories and acceptance criteria we did for sprint 1 for some of the features and the epics and the so in the next slide you also see the wireframes, some of the wireframes we did for the together with the user stories and the acceptance criteria. And on the next slide you will see some of the impediments we faced, and we started slow as we are just new to the process. But as for this second sprint, for the sprint 2, we've already met with our PO. We've already met with our PO, has given us what to do. We have finished it, and we have given it to him for approval before he gets into sprint. Then meeting times for us as BAs and as well as with some of the stakeholders were difficult because we're just finding out their time and when they are free and not free. But now towards the end, everything was moving smoothly, and hopefully the next week it will move smoothly. I'll give it to the QA for their own parts.
Thank you. My name is Yemin. With me, I have Olumide and Mr. Olaolu. We have Olumide and Olaolu. We're supposed to be 5, but 3 of us did this one. As you can see, we started slowly, as the last person said, but have to be honest with you. were able to catch lots of bugs. And as you can see, number 589, that was when I started catching them, and my colleagues was spreading his net, catching with all these 680, 682. And with ticket 210, we were able to write more programs to be able to defend ourselves against these bugs. And as we are catching them happily, we have very fantastic developer that always respond to our requests at the speed of light, trying to solve the problems. Next slide, please. So, and as you can see, I have the first slides were done by me and Olumide, and this one was done by Olaolu. He was also able to write programs to also resolve, to catch bugs, and then to clear the, to make sure that the whole thing is working fine. And yeah, the next thing that go to next slide, please. We've done a sprint retrospective, and we plan to resolve the sprint impediments now, the one we have in the sprint 1, while we're also setting up meeting for sprint 2 and update the Azure board. One of my colleagues once asked me, what are the impediments? When I was talking, to be honest, Blue Sky have been fantastic, the team are good, the developers was also very nice, and all the people that work with us, they are very, very fantastic and responding quickly. To be honest, I have a very good team that work together. The only impediment is they are too good, and I want them to remain good like that, to remain impediment like that, so that the team can reach their goals. Thank you very much. Thanks.
That's it for our team. Thank you.
All right. That was a funny one. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'll give you feedback later. Okay, next thing, please. Wow, I'm loving this one already.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, we could. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I'm Valentine from Team Upsilon. For sprint 1, we have called our sprint A, which is plain and simple. This is our project mandate. So in summary, what we are doing as a team is building Apex Tutor website for to ensure that all students and parents can get the students onto the website, and all university students can access tutors and all facilitate on the website. Our goal for the sprint is to facilitate interactions between the Apex Tutor website. This is our organogram for the team, just to show as a summary. This is the team leads for the sprint A. So 15 descriptions of the Scrum Masters, the Scrum Master role is to facilitate as a servant leader, be a mentor and teach and coach. We implement and practice the 5 principles of Scrum, which is commitment, focus, openness, respect, and courage. We also follow the 3 pillars of the Scrum implementation, which is transparency, inspection, and adaption. We help the team focus on creating high-value increments that meet the definition of done. We adhere to the Scrum framework. We share observations with the team. We establish a sprint goal. We use visual aids such as burn-ups and burn-down charts to track efficiency and workload. And we also help to remove impediments. We host and facilitate the daily stand-ups, which is not a necessity. Once our team gets to the point of performing, then anyone within the team can do so. We introduce and practice Agile methodologies. We work alongside the product owner to ensure that there's a clear and concise and well-managed product backlog, to perform Scrum ceremonies within the time box, such as sprint planning, daily stand-ups, product backlog, refinement, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. We ensure that we practice the 4 values of Agile, which is individuals and interactions over the process and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. And we ensure that the Scrum team are cross-functional, self-managing, and working together as one.
So what went well? So we successfully achieved the daily stand-ups with it at 7 p.m. We successfully reviewed our daily stand-ups within the Scrum team. We identified that there was poor timekeeping within the daily stand-ups. So we went back to the drawing board and we managed to achieve the daily stand-ups within the 15-minute window. We conducted a product backlog refinement
5 more minutes
sprint, and we were also a great point of contact for impediments. So although one user story was not committed to the sprint due to clarity issues, we used the poker sizing website to rate the effort via the Fibonacci sequence. And then the remaining user stories have been assigned to specific members of the team, and we have managed to complete 3 out of 3 user stories, as well as 2 bugs that arose that were raised for sprint A to give 100% completion rate. I'm going to pass on to the BAs.
Hi everyone, my name is Adenike. We have other BAs, we have six of us. We're able to update the wireframes, we're able to rewrite the acceptance criteria for the members of the team to understand, and we're able to, the project was done by people that were available in the team at that time. So whenever any errors is spotted on our acceptance criteria, we ask question and we update it. Next slide, please. We have a little bit of communication issue. We were able to ask questions and feedback from team members as well. And sometimes there's ambiguous information from the stakeholders, and the team were able to resolve it. And also we're giving guidance from our mentor and a product owner to update the pending PBIs. Next slide, please. Okay, the role of a business analyst is to be a good listener, able to ask questions from time to time, ability to use own initiatives, and the most things for us to be a great team player. I'll pass it the key, DA.
This is Abdul Gafar Kupola, the QA lead. Our team consists of 5 members. We are very hardworking and timely. We used to have our stand-up almost every day, apart from the daily stand-up in the Scrum, in the sprint. So these are our rules, where we have been able to write our test plan, and we wrote test cases for each of the sprints committed to us. And presently, we have 3 stories committed to us, and we have been able to, after writing our test cases, we ran the test cases, and we were able to raise bugs for each of the stories, and immediately we reported back to our developer, and who is also fast responding, and we're able to retest, and it has been fixed. For the 3 stories committed to us, all the bugs raised have been fixed, and I want to assure you that those 3 stories are now done. And so we don't have any, as presently, we don't have any problem. Our mentors, our buddies are very responding. They have been very helpful to us. And as a team, we work together, and we have been able to achieve success this far. All hands have been on deck, and nobody is left behind. Everybody understands what he's doing. Thank you very much. Okay. So this slide is showing an example of the test cases we wrote. Next slide. And this is also showing the running of the test cases, where we were able to pass some of the test cases and some were failed. Next. This is also showing us where we're able to raise bug. Next. Okay, thank you so much.
All right, let's move to the next thing, please. Uzo, can you be muted, please? I think there's a noise coming from you. Uzo.
So I'm the next presenter.
Oh, okay.
If that's okay. Yeah. Hi everyone. Good evening. My name is Uzo Keze. I'm presenting for Team Zeta for our Sprint 1 report. So an overview of the report today will just be talking about what we were able to accomplish, our challenges, the different role reports, as well as the conclusion. So as an overview, one of the major events during our sprint was that mid-sprint, we received a change request for our team mandate. And so we had to do a bit of a reset. So our mandate has been changed to create a functional student account for Blue Sky Citadel using Microsoft Dynamics 365 environment. Another major event was that our functional consultants were added to our team. And so we were able to complete the gap, and our team is complete now. We're able to run fully. Another major event was that the Microsoft Dynamics trainings began twice a week. So we were able to understand a lot more of what was required of us and how to use the environment. We completed our Scrum ceremonies, all of them, our daily stand-ups, refinements, capacity training, the planning, everything. All the sprint ceremonies were observed. We gained a lot of knowledge and we're able to practice what we've learned. And the participation of the team overall has been really commendable. Despite the fact that we are a large team, there have been no inactive members. Everyone has been contributing and is really very commendable. Now, this is our organizational chat, our POs, our mentors. We have 6 Scrum Masters. We have 6 business analysts, 7 quality QAs, and 2 functional consultants have been added to our team, completing it now. So yeah, next. Our challenges during this sprint was that we had a delayed start. We had to do a reset, like I mentioned, halfway through the sprint. Because our environment is Microsoft Dynamics, we had already started using user stories, but we learned that the user stories had to be revised, so we couldn't work on them, but they've now been revised and will be moved into Sprint 2 where we'll be able to work on them. And because of the team gaps, we didn't have any developers or functional consultants. So even though we had user stories that had been approved, we weren't able to work on them. But all that has been reserved now, has been resolved, and the stories have been moved to Sprint 2. We had accessibility issues of our Azure board as well as the Microsoft Dynamics environment, but both of those issues have now been resolved. The Scrum Masters and the testers both have access, and the whole entire team has access to the Microsoft Dynamics environment. Like I mentioned, halfway through our sprint, we got a change request from our PO, and so we had to revise a lot of what we did. And this was based on the trainings we started on the Microsoft Dynamics 360 environment. So those were some of the challenges we encountered, but they've all been resolved now. Now, these are the reports from the different roles. And as the lead Scrum Master for Zeta, I will handle the Scrum Master report. As Scrum Masters, like I said, we're able to please, could you move to the next slide? As Scrum Masters, we were able to set up our Azure board and give everyone access. We did our capacity planning, added our widgets, did our estimation for the different tasks, did our refinement, created a wiki, basically performed all the different tasks that we had to the best of our ability. Like I said, our challenges included access to the Azure board and developers to our project team. We now have developers, so going forward, we'll be able to work on our user stories. This is a capacity planning for our different members. We included this into our board, and we're able to use it to calculate the capacity for the sprint. although, like I mentioned, we had to stop halfway. Next slide, please. We're able to do our burn down charts and our wiki. These are images of both of them. As you can see from the burn down chart, it is a bit static because after the user stories, we couldn't go further. But like I said, that's going to change in the next sprint. Next slide, please. And I will hand it over to Ukeme, who is the lead BA for this sprint.
Good evening. My name is Ukeme, presenting BA report. So I wouldn't want to go over what was said, but in all, we're able to write about our challenges. Basically, was the access to the Microsoft, which is now resolved, and I can say that we have a very active collaborative team among the BAs, and we respond immediately to whatever is needed. We're able to create and revise different user stories. We wrote about 8 user stories in all, and we had 6 user stories moved to in BA. Next slide, please. Yeah, so those are the user stories that were moved to in BA, which are still reviewed. But now we have a more structured requirement, which will be moving to sprint 2. And yeah, so that is our report for BA. Hopefully we'll have a better sprint 2. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Olumide. I've been making the reports I've been doing the QA report for Team Zeta. Like it has been said, because of the challenges we had, we could really not move could not do any of the testing that we ought to have done because we had no developers to work on our storage. While like that, we were able to come up with our test strategies and a test plan for the sprint. At the same time, you could see what we are able to do in preparing while we are waiting for the developers to do their job. We had come up with test cases, but unfortunately, we were not able to execute anything. I'll be introducing Miri Adewale to take on the functional consultants report. Thank you. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Thank you.
My name is Mary, and I am the functional consultant working with the team. So my main role on the team is to lead the development and work with the external consultants that will be delivering the mandate. So far I have met the external developer. We have reviewed some existing user stories, and we've had a demo of the solutions environment, and I am working with them to create a test environment for the team.
Our time is up. Yeah. Time up.
I'll hand over to Uzo, please.
Thank you very much. We just want to use the last few seconds we have to thank our team, thank the mentors and the consultants for everything we've done. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's move to the next one, please. Next team, please. Are we done? Is that everyone?
I think we're the last team.
Hold on.
I'm not sure I saw Fita, right?
Yeah, Fita has been on.
Okay, let me check.
Fita came before Upsilon.
Before Upsilon, okay. Okay, all right, okay, no problem. I will check on my.
That's our team, sir. I mean, that's our team.
Which team?
Bayabi Salahu, Adura.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
What you say?
Okay. All right. Give me 1 minute. Let me just kind of finish jotting down what I need to jot down. Okay. All right. Cool. So let me see. I just want to be sure that I captured your team. Okay. All right. It's on the screen. Okay. All right. Cool. It's on the screenshot. Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. To be honest, I'm really impressed. Actually, this is good. Actually, this is awesome. This is wonderful. Right. This is, yeah. To be honest, I'm short of words, and even in terms of the presentation, it's really improved. You know what? Let me stop the recording. If the admin can help me stop the recording, and we'll give feedback on another recording, if that's okay. The reason I'm doing this is so that we can learn from this. Actually, this is very good because